Katie here. Welcome to See Smoke. We did have one of our subscribers to ask us to show how to make some homemade gravy. So we're going to do that tonight. I got a whole yellow onion here and I have it in the pan and I have about 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to start sauteing my onions here because I'm going to use those in my gravy. So I'm going to cook that first. And I'm just going to put some salt and pepper on them for right now while we're cooking those. And I'm going to saute them down a pretty good bit. I'm not going to caramelize them or anything, but I just want to saute them down a pretty good bit so they'll be good and soft in my gravy. Like I said, we're just going to wait on these because I just got some fat in the pan with my onions. And like I said, we're just going to cook these down some. And then we're going to make gravy in this pan. Alright, well, we'll get back to this in just a little bit and check on it. Okay, and this is the pan we used earlier that had our onions in it. We cooked down, and I put a little bit of garlic in there. Like I said, you don't have to use the onions or garlic if you don't want to. I'm just using this for added flavor in my gravy. But you don't have to. Now, when you make homemade gravy, you have to have equal parts of fat and equal parts of flour. So I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of butter, which is 1/4 of a cup. And I'm going to put that in my pan. And I'm going to start melting it. And then once that's melted, then we'll add in our flour to it. But we do want this on high and get it to cook because we're trying to, like I said, melt the butter. Let me move some of these onions over so we can open up the flat surface in the middle so I can get the butter to start melting, so it'll be where it's hot at. But we enjoy any comments that y'all send. We appreciate all the comments you do send. We welcome all our new subscribers we have, and as always, we'd like you to hit the like button, hit that notification bell, subscribe. If y'all have any recipes y'all want us to try out, just throw it down there in the comments and we'll read it and get back to you. If you have any questions or anything, then we're happy to answer those if we possibly can about cooking or anything that we do. So, yeah, we're good to go. And I know, yeah, sometimes cooking some things, it's like watching water boil. It takes forever to do. But we're getting there. But what we're fixing to do, cooking the fat and the flour, is called making a roux, is what we're going to do. Because we're going to cook the flour, and we have to make sure we cook the flour good because you want to get all the flour taste out. You don't want it to taste like pasty and gummy and have a funky flour taste to it whenever you eat your gravy. Yeah, you eat your gravy. But like I said, you don't have to add the onions or anything. You don't even have to have or use butter to make gravy with. I mean, you could use shortening oil or olive oil or something like that. Or you can use ghee or duck fat or bacon fat or, you know, just whatever you have on hand or whatever you want to use that you like. Because like I said, as long as you just have fat to go in there, equal parts of fat and equal parts of flour. Alright, it looks like everything's finally melted like I need it to be. So we're going to add our 1/4 of a cup of flour because I said we have 1/4 of a cup of fat in there. I like saying fat, don't I? Butter. Because butter makes everything taste better. And I'm actually going to turn this down some because I don't want my flour to start scorching. But as you see, it's kind of like starting to make a paste and get thick in here, which I'm fixing to swap over and start using my whisk because we're going to need that whisk in a minute. But yeah, you definitely want to take the time. And the darker you make your roux, because like if you were making homemade gumbo or something like that, the darker you make it, the more nuttier it will taste, and the darker your final dish will be that you're making. And as you see, I'm just whisking this around, and I'm trying to cook the fat some and cook the flour so it doesn't make a nasty flour taste. Okay, I think we're about good on that. Now, you can add whatever liquid you want to your gravy. I'm going to use beef stock today just to give it some more flavor. But you can use any kind of stocks you want if you want to do that. And you can also use water. And a lot of times when you make country gravy, then you use milk or a cream. And we just want to, keep whisking this. And if we got to, as you see, it's starting to thicken up some, I want to add a little more liquid in there because we still want to make sure we cook our flour out. And you just want to keep adding liquid a little bit at a time till you get your gravy to the consistency that you want. And I'm going to add just a little bit more because it's cooking pretty quickly in there. Babe, how about turning over that pork chop? So I'm going to turn this down and let it cook some. And as you see, we have no more lumps or anything, so all our flour has been cooked out, and all our liquid has been cooked out. So now you're just left with a nice homemade gravy. So I hope this helps who asked us to make a homemade gravy. Like I told them before, I am not the greatest at making homemade gravy. I'm not going to lie about that. I am one for cheating and using a packaged mix or using it out of the jar or using it out of a can or something like that. I'm not going to lie, I do the shortcuts. I do on occasion, yes, do it this way if I have all the ingredients in the house, but sometimes I don't just buy the extra ingredients to make, a lot of homemade items. I just go ahead and go easy and do the shortcuts. So this looks pretty good now. So I'm going to say this is all the way done. So now we have onion gravy. This is brown onion gravy. And as you see, mine's kind of light in color and it's not a dark brown. But that's just because I didn't cook my flour to a darker color. But this is ready and it's ready to eat. All you need to do is just taste it and see if you want to season it anymore. Just remember, if you use a broth or something, unless you get one that's low in salt or low in sodium or anything like that, you want to be careful about how much more salt you add to it. But definitely season it to your taste and your life. Alright guys, we finished doing our salmon cakes, our salmon croquettes. So the oil we have left in the pan, that's what we're going to use as our fat to make our gravy. So I think I'm going to need about 3 tablespoons of flour. And we're going to start cooking it in our pan. Okay, now we got that cooked some. I'm going to start adding milk. So let me get some milk out because we're making white gravy. Let me shut the refrigerator. So I'm going to take this. And it's going to take a minute to get it back up to temp a little bit because we just put cold milk in there.
Want me to put it up?
Yeah, here. And we're just going to keep stirring until, like we did the last time, until we get all the flour bits worked out. So we cook all the flour out. And we're going to add pepper to this one too because we're making a peppered country gravy. So I'm adding my pepper. And we're going to keep whisking until, like I said, all our flour works out, which is starting to thicken up some now. Which that's what we want it to do. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more until I can make sure all my flour is cooked out. And because we still got a little flour tidbits, I'm going to add a little heavy cream to this too, or what you would call whipping cream. If I can find mine, there it is. Just to make it a little more creamier and thick. Do a splash of that one. Add that back to the refrigerator. And we're going to work that one in too until it heats up all the way. And I think the only thing we have left in the bottom of the pan, I think we've done worked all the flour out. I think all we have left in the pan is just the little tidbits from where we did the salmon cakes. And as you can see, the gravy is getting thicker now, just like we did the last time. And like we said, we made sure we cooked all the flour out. And then you'll just make sure you want to season your gravy to your taste. Add more pepper, add salt, whatever it is you want to add to it. Okay, this one looks like it's about done. Okay, if you'll give us